What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We are here for the thrilling conclusion of our Marvel Legends Avengers Endgame wave number 2 of action figures with the Professor Hulk, Smart Hulk as the Build-A-Figure. We're going to assemble him. We're going to review him. We've got some boxes to open. We've got some Hulks to compare him to. Quite a few. I didn't even realize I had so many Hulks. But this should be fun. This should be fun. I actually think it's going to be a struggle to get this whole thing in the time allotted by my DSLR. So we better stop talking and get going here. We had better get going. So these are the pieces from Rescue and from Shuri. We need some more pieces. Here, we'll start with Beta Ray Bill. People are excited about this guy. People want this figure. I guess he's a cool figure. I guess he's a cool character in the comic books. I haven't read that many Marvel comic books lately, to be honest, so I'm not particularly excited about the figure, but look at the size of that cape. The cape fills the package. It's amazing. Absolutely stunning, but look at these head sculpts. Look at these head sculpts. We've even got the little Silver Fox action going on here on these Hulk head sculpts. Oh my goodness. They've really made that more difficult. They really have. They've really gone out of their way to make that as difficult as humanly possible to get the head sculpts out without destroying the package, unless you've already completely disassembled the package. I'm putting these back in the box because that's how they're gonna go to their new home, in the package. Next up, we've got Loki. My friend is excited for this figure. Why? I don't know, but that's okay. What matters is he's got a new home. Oh, I ripped the box. Ah, idiot. So bad. Maybe I shouldn't be putting boxes on my Bruce banner. That Bruce is more than a little expensive nowadays. More than a little. He's very expensive nowadays. Okay, let's try not to rip any more boxes. It's embarrassing. Especially when you're documenting everything. We got Rock Python. If this was an Infinity War wave, it would just say Serpent Society, which doesn't mean anything when you're trying to figure out the name of the character. Like, great, there's like how many Serpent Society characters? That's what happened with King Cobra, I think his name was. They just put Serpent Society on the package. Not helpful. Try again. An arm and a leg. That's how much these figures cost me. An arm and a leg. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't pay retail. I'm happy. That's all I wanted. When it's a brand new wave and it's pre-ordered and you're guaranteed to get it, it's fine. It's all good. Last but not least, we need the piece from Union Jack. I do like his weapons, though. This guy might end up as custom fodder. I might cannibalize him. We'll see. I like his belt. His belt looks really good. We shall see. As a British operative, spy, and master of hand-to-hand combat. Embroiled in the world of European politics. That sounds miserable. European politics does not sound any better than Canadian or American politics. There he was. There he goes. Okay. We have all of the pieces that we need. We'll put Bruce back to observe the proceedings. Put the knife away so we don't hurt a figure. Here's the torso. Oh, what? Did I get a dud? Look at the gap. You guys see that? Ugh, that's so frustrating. Look at, you can see it right there. Look at the gap here between the belt and the torso. It's a huge gap. Are they all like that? I didn't do my homework on this Build-A-Figure yet. I haven't looked at any other videos or anything. That's really disappointing. I'm gonna notice that every time I look at this figure. Well, I know how to solve it. Get him a shirt. Get him a custom-made shirt that just covers it up, and then I won't see it. That's a good way to do it. So we'll pop in a leg. Oh, this is really harder than I expected. They really did a good job on these joints. I need to move some figures out of the way. Binary Cap is in the way. Captain Marvel it is. Okay, there's a leg. Looks good. Here's another leg. This is actually rather painful. I don't want to break anything on the figure or on myself, for that matter. Yeah, okay, I think that's it. I think that's it. The torso feels soft. Feels like a softer. Can you guys see what I'm talking about? Feels like a softer plastic than usual for some reason. I don't know what it is. It's like it's got some more give to it or something. Maybe that's just a byproduct of it not being situated properly. I don't know. I might have to get another torso. Someone that's bought Rescue that doesn't want the torso will probably have to swap it out. Let's give him an arm. Okay. Let's give him another arm. Fisted hand. How's he supposed to dab with a fisted hand? So, as you probably know if you're paying attention, at this point here, where we are so far with this figure and the design, I'm deliberately leaving the head off for now. This outfit, this design, is spot on the design for the latter half of Thor Ragnarok, with the pants with this kind of shredding to them. That's exactly what they look like in Thor Ragnarok. So we suspect, I guess I shouldn't generalize for everybody. I suspect that they had this figure ready to go for when Thor Ragnarok came out, but then they had to come up with a Hulk for Endgame, so that's when they decided to slap the Smart Hulk head sculpts together for this figure instead. So we have the costume details for Thor Ragnarok, but we get head sculpts for Avengers Endgame instead, which is fine. Like, look at these head sculpts, they're amazing. But it is disappointing that we didn't get this Hulk when Ragnarok came out. That would have been preferable, I think. But you know, there's some magic formula. There's some guy in an office somewhere whose job it is to calculate how much plastic and how much money they spend on tool and die and how much the freight costs of the finished products and all that kind of jazz and stuff that goes into making these decisions of what makes it into a wave and what doesn't. So presumably because they had this Hulk, this guy over here, they didn't go with this one or something. I don't know. Or maybe the design just got carried over and they were on a tight deadline, so they had to slap one together. Who really knows? I'm noticed as I'm staring at these two head sculpts that I have here. Let's see if you can pick it up on your screen. Yep, there it is. You can see on the forehead, just here, there's some shiny bits. Let me see. It looks like glue. It looks like some glue that ran down from the hair piece, because the hair is glued on to the head. So it looks like my neutral faced head sculpt actually has some QA defects to it. The gray paint here is a part of the face printing paint app. So there's some glue on this head sculpt, so that totally sucks. We're gonna have to use this one because the other one's no good. Extra glue on the forehead just doesn't do it for me. So let's peg him on. This is different. These other Hulks I don't think have this kind of peg. We can check, but I'm gonna bring it off camera so I don't hurt myself or the figure. Let's see. There we go. Got it. All right. Let's pan out a bit. I think his feet are too small. At least in comparison with the other Hulks that we have. His feet are definitely smaller than the rest. So here he is, Professor Hulk on the left. Let's get these guys out of the way for this shot. You can see a little bit more clearly. There goes Banner. That's unfortunate. Let's compare him side to side with the next most recent Hulk. So before this Build-A-Figure Hulk that we just got, the Hulk we had just before this one was the first 10 years Angry Hulk from Age of Ultron. Oh, we're doing the comparisons, but we got to review the articulation still. So the new Hulk is utilizing a new hip joint that the first 10 years Hulk doesn't use, and this other older Age of Ultron one doesn't use. New sculpt, completely new sculpts from the hips down. The abs look to be completely new. Yep. The upper chest is completely new. It's brand new. The fisted hand is different. We don't have that open hand. That's a brand new sculpt. This Hulk is a brand new sculpt. But I think, I don't know, I just feel like the feet are too small. There's the first 10 years foot next to the new Build-A-Figure foot. It's nice on these other ones that they've got bigger feet. It makes it easier to pose for photos and things, but whatever, that's neither here nor there. So basically this Hulk is the same as this Hulk. Let me just articulate him to have a little bit of a better standing pose. Age of Ultron Hulk from the comic Thanos Build-A-Figure wave. Basically the same figure, just different paint apps. Oh, there we go. I didn't have him articulated properly to make him stand straight up and down. My apologies. There we go. Basically the same figure as the first 10 years. Different head sculpt. Different colors even. But Professor Hulk is taller than both of them. So that's interesting. I wonder if the heads can swap. So here's the head off of the Age of Ultron one, but I can already tell that ball is way too big for Smart Hulk. If I do swap, I'd have to stuff it with like not green stuff, that'd be permanent. Sticky tack or something, blue tack. Now I'm just putting the arms down on Gladiator Hulk. There we go. So Gladiator Hulk's about the same height with his helmet. Without his helmet, he's about a quarter of a head shorter than Smart Hulk. But it's just different. It's just a different Hulk. I think this is kind of heading in the direction of being more true to what we see, I think, in the movies, whereas this is kind of retaining some of the cartoon comic book kind of proportions to it. I think if this last comparison, I think will really highlight what I'm trying to talk about here, what I'm trying to say. What am I trying to say? What are we talking about here? I'm just articulating him. Here's the Select, Diamond Select, Marvel Select, Age of Ultron, Hulk. It's got more of the details. It's got more of the nuance, right? Like compared to this guy, pardon me, compared to this guy from the same, represented from the same film, and this guy represented from the same film, like this one's just got more detail. That's what Selects are known for, but that's what this is accomplishing. Whereas the previous ones didn't really represent it as well, the details of the figure, of the character, I should say. So, all that to say, I think the new Build-A-Figure Hulk is fantastic. I think it's a winner. I wish my waist on mine didn't have such a big gap. It's most unfortunate. Really quickly, before we run out of time, let's do a quick review of his articulation. So that little ball doesn't leave much room for his head to articulate, which is to be expected. It looks like it is on camera, but it's not quite 90 degrees all the way up and down. Obviously, they can move like this. We've got upper bicep swivel. Very nice. We've got double jointed elbows. We've got the one open hand articulated this way. I wanted dabbing hands with Endgame Hulk, but we didn't get them. He's got the ab pivot. There's another ball in there. He's got the waist swivel we've already talked about because the gap is huge. Like I can see where the green plastic ends. It's really disappointing. Hips can go out so far, which is good. Can kick forward. Kick back is limited as it usually is. Obviously we've got a thigh cut because that's how you build the figure. We do have double jointed knees, and we have, I still think these feet are too small, toes that can point down and up, and of course some ankle pivot. There he is, Professor Hulk. We have the Build-A-Figure complete. He took the brains and the brawn. This banner never wants to stand up. Took the brains and the brawn, put them together. And now he's got the best of both worlds. And so can you. If you go out and get this Build-A-Figure, you're going to love it. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here, please hit that subscribe button. I appreciate you coming to hang out with me. What are we doing next? What's next? We've got to start unboxing these 2-packs. We have to. We've got to get going on that. Fan Expo is right around the corner. As I'm recording this just today, they were spotted at Toys R Us, the 80th anniversary 2-packs of the Iron Spider and Mark 50 Iron Man armor. They're not street dated yet, but they're out. They're out there. They've been shipped. They're in Canada. So lots to come. Thank you so much for joining me. Be excellent to each other. We will see you next time.